Join me as I try to uncover the happiest life secrets from a wise monk and see if I can actually apply them to my own life. You know, I've always been fascinated by the idea of happiness and what it truly means to live a happy life. As someone who's always on the lookout for ways to improve their own life, I couldn't help but wonder, what's the secret to happiness? And who better to learn from than a wise monk who's dedicated their life to finding inner peace and fulfillment? I decided to sit down with a wise monk and learn from their experiences, and I want to share some of the most profound insights I gained with you. But before we dive in, I want to acknowledge that the pursuit of happiness is a deeply personal and often challenging journey. We've all been there, seeking answers, trying new things, and sometimes feeling like we're not making progress. In the next few minutes, I'll be sharing some of the most valuable life secrets I learned from this wise monk, and I hope they'll inspire you to reevaluate your own approach to happiness. So, let's get started. Stress, anxiety, and societal pressures are just a few of the common obstacles people face when trying to find happiness. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, constantly striving for more, and feeling like we're never good enough. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us that we need to be more productive, earn more money, and achieve more success, but is that really the path to happiness? I think we can all agree that the pursuit of happiness can be a struggle, and it's easy to get caught up in the idea that happiness is something we'll find once we've achieved a certain goal or milestone. But what if I told you that's not entirely true? What if happiness is something that's available to us right now, in this present moment? We often put so much pressure on ourselves to be happy, and it's easy to feel like we're not doing enough or that we're somehow broken because we're not experiencing the level of happiness we think we should be. We compare ourselves to others, wondering why they seem so carefree and happy while we're stuck in our own struggles. Till we realize that everyone is fighting their own battles, and happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's the accumulation of small, mindful moments and intentional choices that lead us to a more fulfilling life. This got me thinking, what if we're approaching happiness from the wrong angle? What if, instead of trying to achieve some kind of external validation or success, we focused on cultivating happiness from the inside out? And that's exactly what the wise monk taught me, that true happiness comes from living in alignment with our values, being mindful of the present moment, and finding gratitude in the simplest things. It's not about achieving some kind of external success or accumulating wealth, it's about finding peace and contentment in the here and now. One of the most profound insights I gained from the monk was the importance of living in the present moment. We're so often caught up in our thoughts, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, that we forget to actually live in the present. And yet, it's in these small, mindful moments that we find true happiness. The monk shared a powerful story with me about a young man who had been struggling to find happiness despite his outward success. He was wealthy, well-educated, and had a great family, but he felt empty inside. The monk took him on a walk through a beautiful garden, pointing out the beauty of a single flower, the songs of the birds, and the warmth of the sun on their skin. And in that moment, the young man realized that happiness wasn't something he needed to achieve, it was something he already had. This story stuck with me because it highlights the idea that happiness is not something external, it's something that's already within us, waiting to be uncovered. And that's exactly what the monk's teachings are all about, helping us uncover our own innate happiness and live a more fulfilling life. The monk also emphasized the importance of gratitude in finding happiness. When we focus on what we're thankful for, rather than what's lacking, our entire perspective shifts. We begin to see the world in a new light, and we realize that happiness is not something we need to achieve, it's something we already have. So, what can we take away from the monk's teachings? Firstly, that happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. Secondly, that true happiness comes from living in alignment with our values and being mindful of the present moment. And thirdly, that gratitude is a powerful tool in finding happiness. I want to leave you with a final thought. What does happiness mean to you? In the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what happiness looks like in your life. And if you want to learn more about how to cultivate happiness from the inside out, be sure to check out my other videos for more insights.